All right, everybody, welcome back to our Training Day podcast. I'm in the booth with my girl, Jennilyn Rosado, and she's here from Massachusetts. She's driven down to New Jersey to get some haps on what she's going to do to take her business to the next level. And I'm excited to have you here, Jenny, and some of the conversations that we've had and are having about your production and where you're going and what's happening in your world. We'll get into that, but how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me and for inviting me down here. I know it was a 4-hour drive, but it was worth it. I love the way everyone is so welcoming, and I've already just learned so much.
No doubt. And I think that, we try to get people in so that it becomes tangible, right? We know it's a lonely business. We know that you're an independent contractor. Technically, you're in your house. You're, meeting with clients now on Zoom or on phone. It's more lonely today, Jenny, than it was when we were in the field knocking on doors, sitting down with people kneecap to kneecap. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
And you've done both, yes?
Yes.
All right. So before we get started, walk us down, like, where are you coming from industry-wise? How did you find insurance? How did you find Family First Life? And, what does it represent to you? But where'd you start? And where'd you come from?
Yeah, so I actually started, I was in the beauty industry for about 15 years. I'm actually still licensed, total 20 years licensed and counting. And, I kind of found a purpose of making people like look good and feel good. And that was like my thing. And, fast forward into like a retail is a dying breed type of industry. I kind of just Googled like recession-proof professions.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was about 5 years ago. And the top three was, one was computer science, medicine, and finance. And I don't know, I just knew that I didn't want to do anything technical, and I probably wasn't going to go back to school for medicine. And so I looked at, finance. Okay, well, again, the whole school thing. So then I kind of did a second Google search of how to get into finance, kind of like without like a degree.
Right.
And life insurance was the first search, and I kind of just went with that. And I followed my gut, and a few agencies here and there, and then I finally get this opportunity from a colleague at an older agency. And when I heard the opportunity, I said, "What took you so long?
Wow.
Get me in there now, like today." And I never looked back.
That's crazy. When I think about a career change, the way you did it with Googling, you were very specific. You were Googling recession-proof industries, which is like, I love that because I've talked about life insurance being recession-proof for years, but I've never said, hey, Google, because that's powerful, right?
Yeah.
By the way, that's a good recruiting tool for you, is tell people to Google
Absolutely.
recession-proof industries, and financial services pops up. Now, you eliminated two. Said, I'm not going back to school for this, and I don't really flow technically, yes?
Yeah, exactly.
So that left maybe one or whatever standing. When you looked at the barrier of entry, like you still had to do something to get in, was it were you excited? Was it daunting? Did you why would anything but having to get qualified or pass a test? Or did you just look at that as like, this is my opportunity?
The way that I looked at it is it could be worse. I could be going back to school for 4 years and then find out that I don't even want this, versus, okay, I can study a little bit. I can take this exam, no big deal, which I passed on the third try, but it really could have been worse. It's not bad. Getting into this industry was not bad at all.
Makes sense, and it's not. The barrier of entry is very low for what we can do here. So I love that move. So you got your license. Now, did you get your license through a company, or did you get your license and found a company?
I got my license through a company, and I was with them for 2.5 years. And, pandemic, people just were really afraid to make decisions. And that was when I was kind of in one of those agencies that said, make a list of people and call them and tell them you're in this new line of work. And I'll be honest, Mark, like they sat through the appointments, and at the end of the appointments, they're like, well, we're not ready to move forward yet, but when can you come over and cut my son's hair?
Oof.
So it was still
Oof.
like, okay, you're not taking me serious.
Oof.
And
how did that feel? I mean, I had to feel like a punch in the gut.
Yeah. But you want to know what felt better?
What?
3 years later, when they called me and say, hey, you're still doing that life insurance?
There's a power and persistency in staying with it, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. And you go from that to this whole warm market. Give me a name of friends and family that may be interested in life insurance, which to me is painful. It's pain. Now again, we want to protect our friends and our family, but it's something about when you need it, they're laughing at you, and when you don't need them, they're calling you.
That's exactly what happened.
It's like dating. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely was. Once I kind of established, here with Family First Life, the approach and the leads and, how independent I could be without having to rely on people that I know, I kind of just completely took off. I mean, I was studying on Sundays and canceling outings so that I could kind of really focus on this. Boot camp I finished in like 5 days, and I didn't talk to anyone because all I wanted was to get better at this. And it was like shocking, like literally I don't even know how, like I could never make it up. But my first week of dialing, the first house I went into, I walked out with 3 applications.
Wow.
And I called my upline in the parking lot, almost in tears, like, wow, this actually is for real. Like, this really works. And the first thing he said to me was, how does that feel? And even, like, sometimes I get choked up about it because, like, that was such a good feeling.
Right.
Like, the lows are so, for me, like, I, operate emotionally, working through that. But the lows that I felt where, with this, we're not interested, can you cut my son's hair, versus I just spoke to a husband, a wife, and a daughter, and they all found the importance in this without me having to, degrade just lose dignity through the soliciting process. I didn't have to do any of that. They literally needed me, and I provided them the service that they needed.
That's crazy.
So I walked out of there, and I was like, okay, I put a ring on this. This is it.
Got it.
This is it. It's me and this business.
That's amazing. So, and you would attest that to having leads, yes?
1,000%.
So let's talk about leads. Let's treat our audience like they're trying to find out what we do. Let's talk about lead. Like you're talking about the difference between, having to solicit and having to lose dignity in the soliciting process to buying leads of people that are interested in life insurance. What's the big difference, but talk to us a little about your lead experience with leads.
Well, like I said, I mean, I know that, selling, you have to transfer emotion. I do still sell with emotion, and I do some, I still work with that. But the first emotion that I felt was like, I'm in control. Like I can invest in as much business as I want and get as much back as I want.
That's powerful. I'm in control. That changes. So when he asked you, how do you feel? That changes how you feel.
It was the light bulb. It was the light bulb. It was the fireworks. It was the explosion. It was everything. Anything that you want to relate to, like the big, like the aha moment. It was like there's that no-brainer. Absolutely yes. Like if it's not a yes, then it's a no. This was 100% yes for me. My first week, and I wasn't even this obsessed. Because I was calling people that I knew, and I'm like, trying to veil how much pain I was in, trying to call them and get them to meet with me. on Zoom during the pandemic where nobody knows what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And I still had to like fake the funk. And now I'm like, hey, you asked for this?
Right.
Here I am.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
And it feels so good. You know, you're and now I can take the purpose that I know that I had with
Right.
you know, with the hairdressing and making you look good, feel good, all those things. My purpose is now deeper than that because they're not. Once you wash your hair, you know, maybe that feeling goes away. Once you wash the makeup off your face, that feeling goes away. But I can walk out of these clients' houses or hang up the phone knowing that for their lifetime they're gonna feel good, and I was the one that could help them with that.
It's amazing how you can take your gifts and your talents with life insurance, and because we're helping people, you can transform your gifts into talents, and you could almost put the entire thing under the umbrella of service, right? Which is what you just did, which I've never heard you say that, but I did the same thing. Like, because you feel good about helping people with a policy. Why do you feel good when you help someone with a policy?
There's nothing more valuable than a living person, a life. And adding protection and a peace of mind and one less thing that they have to think about, it just really deepens my purpose.
Wow. That's significant. We are in the life insurance business. We are protecting lives. We are protecting financial calamity. Like if something were to take place, this is in place. But the way you just said it, there's nothing more valuable than a life. Whew, that hit me. You know, it's like I got chills when you said that because it's like, that's so true. Our business, we can't bring people back, right?
Right.
We're in there to provide, you know, a pillar of support financially if that person's no longer with us. And you regain that purpose through Family First Life. Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there was a point where I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life? Like, is this really what this is about? Like, and everyone's in the office, go crush it, go tile, go. Yes, you're going to do great. And I would smile and then go to my little cube and stare at this.
That's so tough, man.
Names that I know. And
I've been in sales a long time. I know what that feels like. I absolutely know what it feels like when you have no business, but you're in the office to generate business. And it just seems like you generate a prospect every 2 days. Like that's just like a gut-wrenching living.
Yeah.
You know? So I do understand. But talk to us a little bit about where you are right now and where you are going. What are some things in your game that you're looking to tighten up to push you to the trajectory you feel you're destined for?
Yeah, honestly, I thought that I was just going to be doing in-home appointments, like on the field, just driving and, you know, but I think I've definitely transitioned into telesales where the direction that I'm going in now, especially with the opportunity of being able to reach more people, you know, I'm going to be growing much more now. I can work at a much faster pace and, you know, just kind of in between appointments where I was driving and parking and traffic and all these things, like I actually, you know, now can squeeze, you know, 2 or 3 more people, you know, in between appointments and things like that. So I think where I'm going is definitely to the top, but like definitely just like excelling what I already am doing. Just more volume. Definitely.
Okay, I like it. And you have aspirations of building a team, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that my story, like everyone has, you know, their story. And who knows how many hairdressers don't want to, you know, stand on their feet all day and, you know, back pains, knee pain, all of those things, and still have the purpose in life of making someone's day and even making the rest of their life feel, at ease. So I would love to invite all the hairdressers that are, in the process of, thinking about transitioning, that it's phenomenal. And the gift that you have talking to people and listening to people, literally this is going to allow you to win here, honestly.
No doubt. And I think that, when I was in the mortgage business, I thought it was best to recruit loan officers because I know that we have a better way. I'm not confused. I know that we have a better way. Just like you want to recruit people that hairstylists, what have you, because you know that there's a better way, right?
Absolutely.
And having people see and hear that is important. When you think about, 2024 for you, 2024 for what you're attempting to go do right now. You're setting up the final chapters of 2023, closing out the year strong and pushing for a massive 2024. What are some things you're thinking about?
Absolutely. The team that I see is, triple the size, 4 times the size that I have now. The business that I'm producing, the business that I see is triple the size that, I'm making right now. And the excitement and the obsession and just the love, it's all going to multiply, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, Jen, you strike me as someone who not only knows how to do it, knows what you want, and is willing to put in the work and willing to put in the dedicated time to get it. Every time we talk, that's what I hear. I hear that.
Thank you.
And 2024 is your year.
Absolutely.
And what we're going to do is take that feeling, that passion, and lay down the track, run on the track, because what you envision, and I know what you're envisioning, it's just the consistency in your daily routine. Mm-hmm. We talked about that today. We talked about your schedule, what you do with the hours, right?
Right.
How you make those hours multiply. Because the thing it's like compounding interest. If we're just adding, we're just playing the addition game day in and day out, meh. It's not bad. It's just meh. But once we start multiplying, multiplication in our business comes through the consistency, and the consistency creates momentum. And you're in the business right now of starting to multiply. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think of multiplication and time working as a laser beam for you, how does that make you feel? What are some things that come to mind?
To be honest, to me it feels like, more focused, more move kind of faster, definitely more hours. I think that there's nothing wrong with putting in the time. I actually 4 hours to get here, and I loved every minute that from the minute that I walked through that door, that I see my face on that TV. I'm like this, there's I'm supposed to be here,
right?
So I have absolutely no problem in putting in more time, as much time as it takes for the wheels to run on their own. And I want to impact every agent just everybody, all the clients, all the agents. I know it's brick by brick, building the castle brick by brick. And I see a lot of time, a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, sacrifice, even if it hurts. I just know what I need to do to get to where I want to get. So definitely just putting in more time.
And haven't you done that before in other industries?
Yes.
Right.
Retail, are you kidding me? Saturday night, 9 p.m., that you got to wait to close the store? There's people in your network, everybody got something cool and fun to do, and you're sitting at work till 9 o'clock to lock the door, and nobody's walking into your store from 7 p.m. on, but you still have to do your job.
Right.
So, yeah, I've sacrificed a lot, and I have no problem doing that. To being a just like kind of fixed into that mindset. It's just a shift in product and in like the product and people, because they're also looking for something different. There's the time and the work is kind of similar.
What about your passion? Dance, the thing you're passionate about.
Okay.
I mean, you just don't fall into dance. Like, there's had to have been a extreme dedication.
That
Yes.
is my baby. So we all have like this one thing that keeps like our inner child like happy. And for me, it's dancing. So I've been salsa dancing since I was 18, actually. My best friend from college. I turned 18, finally could go to a club. And she's like, we're going to a salsa club. And I'm like, a what? And I told my mom, I don't know how to dance salsa. She teaches me in the kitchen.
Your mother.
What, my mother. While my friend is on her way to pick me up. I have no idea what I'm doing, because the only thing I remember is 4 years old in a tutu, tap dancing in ballet.
Got it.
So at 18, but it changed everything, because we would go out on a regular basis and I would practice and I would watch the girls, the dancers. Then I would go home and just do it on my own and then go back out the following week and do it. No one taught me how to do what I do. You know, I moved to Boston and I got more serious into it. And now I'm actually training technically in a studio. So I've been dancing now and performing and teaching also on the side for 7-8 years. And yeah, I block out that time, and you know, it's super important. Like when I leave rehearsal, you just feel like, okay, that hurt. I'm dancing in 3-inch heels. I'm spinning. I'm sweating, and you know, there's a bunch of other people here that might look more advanced or whatever, but I still, for the love that I have for dance, like it's very incomparable love to like a lot of things. You know, I mean, I love my family and my friends and all that, but this is. Like outside of all of that, like this is the number one thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word passion. I can't compare that to anything else. You know, there's something about the music and my roots and my ancestors and the culture and the creativity and the evolution of the styles. Look, and see, here I am. I'm like on a soapbox already about it, because it's so important. It's so important to me. And then I convert everybody. Oh, don't dance bachata. Come, salsa. This is it. This is it right here. Yeah. So, and you know, people, it's interesting because like I'll do something for fun and then people see it, social media. Like people are always watching, even though you don't get likes or whatever it is. Like people are watching. And so then, you know, Hispanic, you know, Heritage Month, I'm getting booked for, you know, come to this school and teach and come to this office and teach and all these things. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I didn't think that, you know, somebody would want that for me, but they find the talent in me and they find the value in me. And I'm like, absolutely. And then, of course, I go and I show up and I give them every single, you know, dime that they paid for.
Right.
And they leave with like, wow, that was a lot of fun. You know, there's adrenaline rushing through me. This is a happy sport. Like anybody that's a dancer, you're happy. You're just naturally happy. It's really amazing.
You should see the energy transfer from
I knew it.
like I mean the passion went up to a level 12.
Yeah, it's warm now.
It's like you just danced. And I love it, man. I love it. And again, life insurance sales should come alongside your greatest passions. It is the ultimate outlet for people to do something that's noble, that's meaningful, that pays well, that allows you to control your time, some of your time, but also allows you to crush your passion projects. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And I really do thank you for coming in. You've enriched our lives today. You've enriched the podcast today. And for coming in and sharing that fire, that energy. And, you know, I expect some seriously big things from you in 2024.
Absolutely.
In the best kind of way.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. This has been, I mean, I'll take the drive, you know, once a month. Anybody that lives far, like this is actually worth the drive. Like just get here. Just get here. It'll be so worth it.
It's huge, man. Training day. Jennilyn Rosado, crushing it. passionate, on fire for the things she loves. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for contributing and serving our people. God bless y'all. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Peace.